Good afternoon and happy 4th of July. We are back talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards blowing up the internet with announcing a separation or a divorce from Mauricio. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's the 4th of July. Everything in this video is, of course, alleged, and we have to talk about the fact that this was a PR move, announcing it on July 3rd, as the 4th of July would be a distraction from everything. So before we get into all this, guys, of course, everything in this video is alleged. Make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Turn your notifications on. It's super important and it makes a really big difference with my videos. So let's get into this today, guys. Okay, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. First of all, we have to talk about the fact that filming has already wrapped, but during filming, Mauricio went on the Two Teas in a Pod podcast in April, and he talked with Tamra and Teddy, and they talked about the fact that Kyle was out and about with Teddy Mellencamp and she didn't have her ring on, and the paparazzi caught it and took a photo of it, and allegedly that was what sparked all of these rumors. Mauricio kind of talked poorly about the other ladies on the cast because he thought that they shouldn't have brought it up on camera. And again, guys, this interview was back in April when Mauricio came out with his book. They're really trying to just get every dollar they can out of this Netflix series, if you're asking me. I mean, now we have Mauricio writing a book. They're living together under the same roof, but are obviously separated. Why are we announcing it? A lot of things are not adding up here, guys. Then you have to factor in the fact that Andy Cohen is like even doing private interviews discussing the Gorgas, discussing things that were left out of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion, because fans are so, and subscribers and viewers and content creators are still outraged over the Real Housewives New Jersey reunion and how dirty Bravo may or may not have done us or done Teresa. So they're still talking about it. And Bravo and Andy Cohen needs everything to simmer down in New Jersey because they have every intention of bringing Melissa and Teresa back next season. And it's been how long since they filmed the reunion? The reunion was filmed in April. So we've had about 2 months, 2.5 months for them to like cool down. And I think Andy Cohen and execs expected us to be talking about Orange County or Atlanta and or Scandal, but we've talked that all the way out in their filming. So they basically thought that we would be distracted by now, and we're not. And so Andy Cohen is like, whoa, 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 whoa. I really need everything to cool down on Instagram and Twitter because I'm trying to reconcile and starve these New Jersey housewives out so that they will get along, sign contracts, and be ready to film. Okay, seriously. But Kyle is really taking one for the team here because this has been a really one of those things that Kyle is off limits. She does not discuss any issues her and Mauricio may or may not have had over the years. I talked about this in a live about the demise of Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump's relationship started when Mauricio was making the cover of all of these magazines because he was featured in a book about a egg worker. Egg means sex worker, that worked the Hollywood Boulevard for many years, and they wrote a book about it, and Mauricio was named in the book as someone that was purchasing eggs from people that were selling it on Hollywood Boulevard, and how some of his preferences were like to have an extra person as well. And he was named next to Eddie Murphy in this book, and there was never any lawsuit. There was never nothing that ever came of that. And Kyle had to hold her head up high, and she did not talk about it. If you guys watch and go back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she does not talk about it. She talks about it a tiny, tiny bit in her confessional, but only about why Brandy brought it up and how hurtful it was to her. But Lisa Vanderpump wanted to bring the magazines with them on their cast trip, and she put them in the suitcase, Brandy's suitcase, and Brandy took them out, and then she told Kyle and Mauricio about it while they were on vacation. And Lisa Vanderpump and Ken actually ended up leaving the Bahamas over that whole thing. So it was really a point of contention with Kyle Richards. It always has been. And to hear him say that it was going to be part of the storyline for next season, no one really thought anything about it because of the fact that Kyle has always sold us on the fact that she's had a 27-year solid, amazing relationship with Mauricio. And even though fans have been able to see that there's something off, something amok between the two, for a couple of years now, but Kyle and Mauricio have always denied it. And so, to be respectful, of course, people don't want to continue to say things or make accusations, or if they're feeling a certain way about something, they keep it to themselves, guys. But let's not forget that Dana Wilkie actually posted like a meme. She reshared a meme of Dorit and Mauricio, and it was like them hugging, and it was like a joke, like, oh, next uh series is going to be housewives that steal housewives husbands, or something completely ridiculous. And they were really upset with her about it, really, really upset. And she didn't create it, all she did was repost it from YouTube, seriously. And they were so upset about it. So it's like, it's really strange, really, really strange. And we have to ask ourselves, guys, why, number one, are we announcing a separation? If you guys have so much love for each other, and you likely have been living separated already as it is, why all of a sudden announce it on July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July? That was very sketchy to me, guys. Also, Kyla's come out on Instagram and made a statement. And that was what I was trying to say, guys. This is very, very, very not the Kyla Richards that we are used to. Okay. She made a statement on Instagram and says that her and Mauricio are separated, but they are not divorced. They're not planning to divorce, but they are trying to figure out what the next best steps are for their family. She said that they have been married for 27 years. They have tremendous love and respect for one another. However, they've had a horrible year in their marriage. And she's asking for privacy. And she's also asking for people to not spread salacious rumors because nobody did anything to the other one. Basically denying the rumors about the Morgan, who is allegedly this country music singer who Kyle has been spending a lot of time with in the last 6 months, guys. People went through her Instagram. I mean, I didn't go through her Instagram, but other people went through her Instagram. And Kyle has to know that people do this. Okay, seriously. Like, she only had 8 posts of Mauricio in the last 6 months. Their anniversary was in January. I think it was like a very, very like vague, not like a super like lovey-dovey, not what we're used to seeing from Kyle Richards for her anniversary. Okay. Um, but again, Mauricio, when he goes on the Two Cheese in a Pod podcast, I posted a clip on YouTube and on my Instagram, and Tamara says, "Are you guys getting divorced?" And Mauricio like starts joking about the wedding ring. He's like, "Oh, Teddy, were you just trying on the ginormous wedding ring?" Ha, ha, ha. Like, I don't know. It was just strange now that I'm looking back on it, thinking like, hmm, this is very, very strange. Also, guys, another thing that we have to factor in. So we have her making a statement on Instagram. We also had the wedding in Colorado. This is really what people were like talking about because of the fact that it was Kim Richards' daughter who was getting married. All of the family was there, including Kathy and Rick Hilton. Now, you have to understand how dirty Mauricio did Kathy and Rick. Well, Rick primarily. When it comes to the agency and Hilton and Highland, he left without a 2-week notice. He sent an email. He took agents with him, and he opened up an entire competitive real estate business. Like, Hilton and Highland is big, but Mauricio made the agency, and the agency is very big now too. So Kathy and Rick don't like Mauricio. Even when Kathy and Kyle had made up, people saw the tension between Mauricio and Kathy at their house in Aspen when they were filming. And Kathy was put downstairs. If you guys remember, she slept in the basement. And they had dinner that night at Kyle and Mauricio's. And I think Mauricio was like cooking the steaks. I don't know. There was just a lot of tension between Kathy and Mauricio. So one would think that if Kyle is experience or experimenting, is that the word I'm looking for? If Kyle is having second thoughts, if Kyle has changed her mind in any way and does not want to have her loyalty lean towards Mauricio for the rest of her life, Kathy and Rick are going to be all about it. Okay? They're going to be all about it because they don't like Mauricio anyways. And the fact that Mauricio was still at the wedding really goes to show how much they they wanted the press and people to how far they really go with this lie that everything is great with between the two of them, and it's not. Okay, like there were some telltale signs because of the photos that were posted and the fact that like Kyle wasn't there was a photo of Mauricio and Farah, which you guys all know the rumors about all of that. I'm not going to get into that. I don't like to like talk about that too much, but there were like a lot of Reddit rumors about like them, which was so weird. But they posted a photo together and she only posted Mauricio. She didn't tag her mom. I don't think she tagged her mom at all in any of the photos from the thing. So this is going to really tear up their family, unfortunately, because of the fact that I think I don't know. I think Mauricio and Kyle are going to be able to co-parent for sure. But I think that if Kyle is allegedly maybe, you know, doing this, we're seeing a different Kyle, the daughters may not like that. And she does only have, I don't know how old Portia is. Is she even driving yet? We see moms that I had a friend from high school, and her mom just picked up one day and said, "I'm tired of being a mom. I don't want to be a mom anymore." And she like moved out and got like a young boyfriend, and she eventually like tried to repair her relationship with her children, but like it wasn't the same, of course. So it's like I don't know. This is all very, very strange. But again, I think she's going to have the support of Kathy and Rick Hilton. And I think when they were at the wedding, they probably were really like supportive of Kyle in any of her endeavors that may like be plans to not stay married to Mauricio. Also, Kathy and Kyle did an hour and 45-minute Instagram live, and Morgan popped in and out of the live. She also, I guess, I don't know if she got sober, had to get sober, but she doesn't drink or, um, and this was allegedly the reason that we have seen Kyle stop drinking, and allegedly why she has maintained her sobriety and not drank for all of these months. I think it was like 8 or 9 months when they were like filming. And partly I thought it was because she might have seen herself last year and she was a little bit wasted some of the times. But now that I see that she is with this young girl, this pretty young thing, who is sober, well, doesn't drink alcohol. Yeah, I mean, maybe Kyle's like, like whatever, like California sober. You guys know what that means. California sober means because California is always like a little bit more, known for like drugs and party scenes, if you will. California sober is like when you don't drink any alcohol or take part in any like hard drugs, but maybe you like indulge in like cannabis. I don't know if I can say cannabis, but basically, you guys know what I'm saying. So that's like California sober. And we know that Mauricio liked to take part. We've seen him happy and giggling a lot of the times in scenes. Fans picked up on it. And it it could be very likely that Kyle is taking part now too, and maybe she just eats a gummy, like a CBD gummy, or like a really low, THC level gummy instead of having a drink. And when she goes to film or when she's going to like high stress situations where she would normally drink, and now she's not. Also, guys, I have to tell you. Okay, the statement went up on Instagram, but I think what really may or may not have like made her have to say something was allegedly. I heard the video, but I'm like whispering to you guys. Allegedly, there was an ex-girlfriend of Morgan. So Morgan is the country singer, and allegedly she had an ex-girlfriend that lived in LA. And Morgan is on tour because she's a singer and a songwriter. Okay. And she seems very creative, very in tune with her creative side. But, anyways, allegedly, Morgan was here to put on a concert, and the ex girlfriend wanted to go. But she knew that the new girlfriend was going to be there. And so she didn't want to go because the new girlfriend was going to be there. And so when I don't know if she ended up going or she saw like the concert or something, and she made a TikTok and she was crying and she was saying how badly she wanted to see Morgan, but she didn't want to see Morgan's new girlfriend. And she confirmed that she was present at the concert in LA. And guess who else was at the concert? Guess. Mm-hmm. Yes. And guess who she took with her? Teddy. And do you guys understand how what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say hypocritical, but I think like the hypocrisy um with the fact that Kyle and Teddy worked very hard to expose Denise. And part of that was like I think that they liked that people thought like, oh, she stepped out on her husband. Like Denise is someone that would step out on her husband, right? I kind of got that feeling from them that they didn't like Denise. They did not like Denise. And whenever you go back to the scene where Brandy is telling them about what happened, and Teddy plays kind of dumb. Like she's like, "Well, what do you mean you guys hooked up? Like you guys kissed? Like, no, this isn't second grade, Teddy. Okay, no, jeez. I mean, seriously, I couldn't believe she said that. But anyways, they were just so shocked that Denise would, you know, hook up with Brandy and treat Brandy this way and yada yada yada. And it's like now maybe Kyle's stepping out and she is hanging out with her while she doesn't. Do you guys think so? I mean, that would be kind of hypocritical. No? I'm just saying that's what happened. That's what allegedly happened. Allegedly, it was confirmed that Teddy and Kyle were both present for the concert in LA. And that's why the ex girlfriend made the TikTok crying, and content creators were able to dig up the TikTok, and it was circling yesterday. And that's why 14 hours ago, Kyle Richards made the statement on her Instagram about the separation. So I guess we will stay tuned. But the fact that this was done on July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July, sounds very strategic, if you ask me. It kind of sounds like somebody leaked it, but it also kind of sounds like it was done on purpose. And let's not forget that Andy Cohen is really ready to film The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and he really needs all of us to move on and talk about Beverly Hills or Kyle or anything but The Real Housewives of New Jersey and how dirty they were done this season on the edit and the reunion and the BravoCon and all of that. So, all right, guys, happy 4th of July. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. That is how you will stay up to date with my tea, is by turning your notifications on.